Title: The Pines Remember. They never should have gone past the fence. 6 friends, Owen, Jess, Caleb, Marcy, Drew, and Tasha, drove 2 hours into northern Michigan, chasing legends. The stories about Black Hollow Forest were old. Warnings passed in whispers at campfires, local kids daring each other to step past the rusted ranger gate. Dogman lives out there, the gas station clerk had muttered, almost as a joke. Almost. They laughed it off. College students with flasks in their packs and phones full of flashlights. They hiked in, found an old trail, and set up camp near a lake so still it looked like black glass. The trees loomed tall, ancient, leaning slightly inward as if listening. That first night, something watched them. They didn't see it, not then. But the noises started around 2 a.m. Not owls, not wolves. Something bipedal, heavy, breathing low and animal-like, but with a strange intelligence behind it. Owen scanned the woods with his flashlight. The beam caught 2 eyes, 6 feet off the ground, glowing amber. Then they vanished. "We're not alone," Jess whispered. Her voice trembled. They found Marcy's tent shredded by dawn. No blood, no drag marks, just her sleeping bag torn open, like something had reached in and yanked her out without touching anything else. Her boots were found later, placed neatly by the lake, soles facing the forest. They wanted to leave, tried to, but the woods warped. Trails they had marked twisted, turned, disappeared. Their compass spun in slow, lazy circles. Tasha started murmuring, "It's not the trees moving. We are." That night, Caleb didn't scream. He gurgled. Jess had gone to pee behind a log when she heard the wet tearing sound. Then a choking noise, like someone drowning in their own lungs. She ran back screaming. They found Caleb's body dangling 20 feet up, impaled on a broken branch. His chest was ripped open. Something had fed. Owen wanted to run, but the firelight flickered, and then they saw it. Standing between the trees, 7 feet tall, covered in mottled black-gray fur, muscle rippling beneath it like a stretched-out wolf forced into a man's shape. It hunched slightly, a long snout dripping with saliva, yellowed teeth, eyes that didn't blink. The dogman stepped forward and smiled. It enjoyed their fear. They scattered, ran into the woods screaming, slipping in the underbrush. Jess heard Drew behind her, then a wet crunch and silence. Something thudded beside her, Drew's severed hand, still twitching. One by one, the forest claimed them. Tasha was found by search teams days later, naked and catatonic, curled at the edge of the lake. She had claw marks across her back and bite wounds on her shoulders, but she wouldn't speak. Just rocked and whispered, again and again. It walks like a man, but it smiles like a beast. The forest was sealed off after that. But the pines remember, and the dogman waits.
The legend. Every Michigan town has its stories: lumberjack ghosts, lake monsters, UFO sightings. But in the dense green expanse of the Manistee National Forest, an old tale still whispers among the pines. They call it the Dogman. 7 feet tall, half wolf, half man. It walks like a man but howls like a beast. Most laugh it off, a campfire myth passed down for generations. But legends don't last this long without a little truth. Chapter 1. The hike begins. It was supposed to be a weekend of escape. 5 friends from Grand Rapids, Maya, Josh, Tyler, Rachel, and Devon planned a backcountry hiking trip through Manistee, far from cell service and civilization. Maya, the organizer, brought topographical maps and a new GPS unit. Josh, her boyfriend, was the outdoorsy one, confident, sometimes overly so. Tyler and Rachel were new to hiking, but up for adventure. Devon, ever the skeptic, rolled his eyes at ghost stories but carried a hunting knife anyway, just in case. Their plan was simple: 2 days in, 1 night camping by an old fire lookout, and 2 days out. As they hiked deeper, the forest thickened, the sun filtered through twisted branches. Birds chirped, chipmunks darted, but it felt off, too quiet at times, too still. Chapter 2. The First Sign. That first night, they made camp near the base of the old fire lookout tower, long since abandoned, rust streaking down its legs. As night fell and the fire cracked, Devon told urban legends to spook the others: the Wendigo, skinwalkers, the Dogman. Supposedly, he said, grinning, This thing stalks hikers, watches from the trees, smells like wet fur and death, and it screams, not howls. Rachel shivered and threw a stick at him. Shut up. But then they did hear something, not a howl, not a scream, something deeper, a growl, low and guttural, from somewhere in the trees. They froze. The fire crackled. Josh laughed it off. Coyote, probably, but Maya noticed something that killed her smile. Two eyeshine dots, far too tall to be any coyote, staring at them from beyond the firelight. They left the fire burning all night. Chapter 3. Tracks in the morning. The next morning, Josh and Maya woke up early and stepped out of their tent to find massive prints in the damp soil. Not bear, not wolf, something in between. 5 toes, clawed, bipedal. It's just some hiker playing a prank, Devon said, too quickly. But they hadn't seen another person in 2 days, and the prints circled their tents. Later, Tyler wandered off to pee and didn't return for 20 minutes. When he came back, he looked pale. I think something was watching me. I heard breathing. Close. Real close. They decided to cut a trip short and take a shorter, less scenic route back to the trailhead. That was when the GPS started acting up. Batteries drained. Compass spun wildly. The forest didn't seem the same anymore. Chapter 4. Nightfall comes early. They hiked fast. Too fast. Branches slapped their faces. Packs weighed them down. And as evening approached, the forest seemed to darken unnaturally early. Cloud cover rolled in. A strange fog hugged the trees. Rachel twisted her ankle on a root. Josh insisted they stop for the night. Maya argued, but Rachel couldn't walk further. They set up a hasty camp. That night, they heard it again, closer. Heavy steps circling them. Wet breathing. They didn't light a fire this time. The creature didn't like fire. Around midnight, Rachel started mumbling in her sleep, then screaming. They found deep scratches on the outside of her tent in the morning. Chapter 5. Devon disappears. By the next afternoon, they were down to half rations. The fog didn't lift. They couldn't get a GPS signal or even find the sun to navigate. Trees looked wrong. Paths doubled back. It felt like the forest shifted around them. Devon volunteered to scout ahead and find the river they were sure was nearby. He left at noon. He never came back. When they followed his trail, they found only his knife, stuck upright in the ground, blood smudged on the hilt. No tracks leaving. Just gone. And that's when they heard it clearly for the first time. A howl, deep, inhuman, and angry that echoed through the trees. Maya said it felt like it was inside her bones. Chapter 6. The Fire Tower. They ran. No direction. Just away. Somehow, through luck or fate, they stumbled back to the old fire lookout tower. The same one they'd camped near before. As night fell, they barricaded themselves inside, dragging broken furniture against the trapdoor. Josh clutched a hatchet. Rachel sobbed in the corner. Maya tried to stay calm. Tyler prayed. Around 2 a.m., it came. A scraping on the metal stairs. Heavy steps. Then silence. Then something slammed into the trapdoor. Over and over. Screaming. High, horrible, and full of rage. Something sniffed through the cracks. They could smell it now. Rotten fur and damp leaves. Then it laughed. A hoarse, guttural mocking laugh. It spoke no words, but it understood them. And then it was gone. Epilogue. Survivors. In the grey light of dawn, they climbed down and ran. The fog had lifted. The forest seemed still again. And this time, they found the main trail. They emerged near a ranger station by dusk. Muddy, bloody, limping. The rangers didn't believe the story. Not really. Maybe a bear, they said. Devon was never found. But weeks later, Maya got a package in the mail. No return address. Inside, a single Polaroid photo. A blurry shot of Devon, face pale, eyes wide, standing in the woods. Behind him, half shadowed in the trees, a tall figure, upright, covered in black fur, with glowing yellow eyes and claws. Somewhere in the manistee, the Dogman waits.